typically when someone talks about mobile advertising, they also talk about local advertising because people tend to do a lot of local searches when they're out on their mobile phone. They're looking for something nearby that delivers what they want. How do you fit in with the localized marketing landscape?
Yeah, and we see a lot of this happening where consumers are out there, maybe they're at a mall and they think, oh, I've got to get my auto insurance, or they think, hey, I'd really like to buy, a new pair of shoes, and so they look for, go to Google, search for something nearby, but what they can do with that as well is directly connect to advertisers through their phone, through a phone call. And so it's kind of an interesting thing that's happening in the space is that by being mobile, I think that we get more interaction all the time in all different places through performance marketing, right? I mean, you can be out anywhere and you can be interacting with ads rather than just sitting at home on your desktop, which is somewhat new in the last, I'd say, 5 to 8 years. So I think that that's something that Google has really kind of jumped on with their enhanced campaigns to try and figure out where those users are, not only mobile, as in walking, going to, grab a coffee or something. They're still interacting with search engines and Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff wherever they might be. So I think it just leads to more traffic on the web through their mobile phone. But to come back to localized marketing, one of the best ways to promote a pay-per-call campaign is to simply promote it within specific regions. So if you take a campaign like auto insurance is a good example, but if you put in auto insurance and you say Las Vegas, or you say California, or you get more specific down to cities and towns, and all you have to do is put in like a keyword like auto insurance Kansas, and extend that out across all the cities in North America or the US, and suddenly you've got a pretty viable, pretty successful pay-per-call search campaign. And so I think if publishers can use that knowledge to figure out how to do that on Facebook, like, hey, I noticed that you are in Seattle, Washington. There's an auto insurance offer just for you. And so that localized aspect of bringing a national campaign and localizing it and delivering it to the user's phone when they are in a specific location, I think that just marries the two together quite successfully. And I think that overall it leads to better performance and better lead gen and a better experience for the consumer and the advertiser.
Okay, so if I'm running a campaign like that and I'm targeting, let's say, Seattle, Las Vegas, and Buffalo, New York,
yeah,
and they're obviously going to be performing at different levels, what kind of tracking and analytics do I have access to know that, wow, Seattle's performing really well and Buffalo is not?
Yeah, so you can see that type of information within your platform, within RingPartner. So when you log in and look at your reporting, you can go through and export a report, aggregate all the data, and figure out, hey, I'm getting a lot of calls that last a lot longer from Seattle versus Buffalo. I'm going to hyper-target my campaign to Seattle. But you also get that information through Google AdWords as well. You can check out the dimensions tab in there, and you can actually look at the different locations that are leading to longer calls or leading to conversions. So you really have full access to see all of that information top to bottom and figure out what's actually leading to successful conversions in which areas. And then I like to use that hyper targeting and figure out, okay, these 10 cities of the 500 that I picked are really successful, so I'm going to stop wasting money on the rest and really focus in on those successful cities that really drive good quality long calls, and then you'll just be that much more profitable with your campaigns.
Right, yeah. So it's just a matter of split testing and weeding out the losers.
Yeah, and the information really is there, and it's in quite a few different places, so you can get some really, really deep insights into what's working. And then, you can also customize the IVR to, hey, we see you're calling from Seattle. We can connect you with a call center nearby. Please stay on the line. And that just marries the relationship between the user that's calling and where they are to the campaign, which might be a national, but it bridges the gap and helps the caller make that connection and realize that, hey, this is the right call for me. I am looking for auto insurance in Seattle.
Right. Okay. So for affiliates, is that how you would recommend that they best optimize their campaigns, is to do it through, let's say, Google AdWords and have it show up as a search result? Or are there other places that affiliates are putting these ads that are even more effective?
Yeah, I think that search is the big one. I think anybody in pay per call is right now is probably receiving a ton of calls from mobile search, but we're seeing publishers expand out from there, and they're doing more display campaigns, so banner campaigns on desktop, banner campaigns on mobile RTB platforms, and so we're seeing more publishers branch out into that. PPV is one that has kind of come up lately. So using services like traffic bands or lead impact really can deliver some high quality calls, and publishers are finding success with that. With those those platforms, publishers want to utilize ring pools, and ring pools is part of the Invoca platform that we use. And what it does is help publishers get that deeper granular insight into their campaign. So there's some technology involved there, and we can definitely help publishers out with that, but they do need to set aside a group of numbers, and then those numbers are assigned to a click. And what that does is allow them to pass in different parameters, like the keyword, the device, the platform, the banner that it came from, and then they can really go back to thinking how they might have promoted a traditional affiliate campaign with a link and a pixel, and they can actually, there is pixel tracking within pay per call, which many publishers are unaware of or haven't dug into yet. So we can activate those features and help them with that. So that's something that we've been doing a lot more of, is using the ring pools to help publishers gain those deeper insights, because we know that search is big now, but everything is growing and pay per call is expanding into all areas. So we need to be able to track effectively across all those different platforms, and we're working on helping our publishers with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so if someone wants to sign up as a publisher, how do they go about it?
With us, if you go to ringpartner.com, there's a sign up button right on the page. But you can also go to switchboard.ringpartner.com. And what Switchboard is our platform that's fully integrated with Invoca. And what we have in there is all their basic account information, who's your account manager, billing, all that information that you can get set up with and get going on right away. And someone will reach out to them, they'll call them back, we'll do a little interview before we get approved. So it's important that publishers, when they sign up, fill out the information completely and to the best of their knowledge.
Okay, great. So do you have any final words of wisdom for affiliates who might just be getting started in pay per call?
Yeah, I think that it's really just about trying it. I think that there are some things that can be challenging that they may not be used to, but it's worth doing, and there's money to be made there. So if you can be one of the first publishers to crack the pay per call code and really be successful, you'll be ahead of the game. So there's a little bit of work up front, but we, like I said, we're 100% committed to helping our publishers succeed with this stuff and get the tracking that they need. So, talk with your distribution manager. They can email me directly if they're interested in it. My email is mike@ringpartner.com, and I'll help them get started. I was a traditional publisher, years ago, so I've made the transition, and it is quite easy. There are some things that are a little bit different, but there are some things that are better as well. Like we find conversion rates are much higher than they were with sending users to a landing page. So because campaigns only need to convert on a duration rather than a sale or completing a lead form, that transition from call to duration is quite easy. If you're sending relevant traffic.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Mike. You gave a lot of great information for affiliates today, and I want to thank you for your time.
Great, yeah. Thanks for having me, and we look forward to seeing some more people come in and try pay per call. I mean, I think that every publisher should give it a shot and see what it's all about. And there's it's worth doing because there's money to be made there.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Mike.